Hi guys, what's going on? Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Because by the time I upload this, it's gonna be morning already next day, and I have already done two videos. I was going to upload them and go for sleep, nice little sleep. But then I thought like, hey, let's do just one more talk, morning thoughts episode or fragrance related topic. So I'll keep this about fragrances, but I will do a discussion. So if you're up for that, you can check out the video. But if you are looking for a review, you won't find one here because I'm not gonna review any particular fragrance. So this episode, I thought of this. I always think, what could be an interesting topic for fragrance related vlogging or blogging or vlogging, yeah, video. So I came up with this idea. Like I was thinking, back in the days, we used some fragrances. Our time, we had seen some fragrances. Before our time, our elders, they have used some fragrances. So fragrance trend over the hundreds of years, it changed from decade or year to year, varied. Like not everything is like in the same style. So I'm not a very good person with history. I don't have the biggest knowledge, but I've seen some trend from my 80s time, 90s, because I live for 4 decades, so I'm really old. So I can claim. Interesting enough, tomorrow is 9th of May, gonna be my birthday. I'm gonna turn 41. For those who are wondering how old is this guy, he's really old. Anyway, so coming back to the discussion is that old fragrances versus new fragrances. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna put it. Let's see how it goes. But this is what I thought. Our time, we smell some fragrances which are very particular. There are not that many fragrances during our time. 80s, 90s, we smelled very common fragrances like Aquadigios maybe, or I don't know, CK1, that were cool waters back in the day. And these were like limited numbers, like not many people had fragrance at that time. Fragrances were really expensive. Perfumes people would not be able to buy unless they're really rich in Bangladesh. So now our economy, I'm just giving you some idea, it actually sort of is like going high. Despite a lot of corruption and a lot of poverty, we still are like, not we're really progressing in the world market because of many reasons. We have uh, manpower, industry, like people work outside and they send like money back to the country. So this kind of thing. So our sort of status, like our development in the country sort of went up, and people's status, their knowledge, slowly is going higher. So with those things, better things come. We have better houses, more modern roads, lights, technology. Okay, and now people can afford better things. They have better taste. They have traveled outside. So they're generations after generations. So what happened is people actually have more knowledge than before, more modern. We have really some smart people working in Bangladesh now, staying here. So they sort of like have trend or creativity, or they are craving for foreign food. Let's say steak. I'm going a little bit overboard, but I'll tell you, I'll come back to the perfume talk. So now people knows the value of steak. When I grew up, maybe people still understood burgers, steak, but fast food was not a trend in Bangladesh. We used to be most like rice. See our size, we're really healthy, and we have a solid, sexy tame. Okay, but nowadays people are more like into fitness, or their gym or dieting, keto diet, this and that. Back in the days, people life was simple. No mobile phone. People would just go to the house, to meet people, friends, hang out. We used to have a picnic. So much fun, guys. Trust me, we had a lot of sports. We had a lot of grounds. Nowadays, nothing. But back in the time, coming back to this discussion, people like our uncles, or let's say my uncle, like my mother's brother, he was a captain of a ship. Those cargo ships. They travel all over the world. He would bring back big carton of cigarettes, CDs of Madonna, and then perhaps some other stuff, chocolates. They used to give us gifts. He smells so good, and I think back in the days he used things like Fahrenheit, cool waters. Man, he is still here. And then I remember he was like this guy who would smell good, and some of the uncles, they smell like really nice, like Dior Eau Sauvage. Man, those are the times I still have memories. This is why I love Dior Eau Sauvage. Where is my Eau Sauvage at? I'm still searching for it, and then I don't know where I'm holding my mic. Oh, here. This fragrance, I got it much later in my journey. Okay, this is an older style fragrance. This is basically Big Daddy of all lemon style perfume. If you do not know, check out Mark's review on this. He did mention this is the one that started that citrus affair. Then they made Dior Sport, but I feel nothing beats this. This one still has the rosemary, lemon kick, and it's got some lavender. It's like a fantastic, timeless piece of art. And I think for me, it's a time to get a backup bottle. So this is what I smelled back in the days, cool waters. And I did not have any fragrance whatsoever. I had body sprays, Axe, this and that. And we used to wear this like means all, it means everything to us. And slowly, when you grow up school, perhaps you got a fragrance from Gillette or Brute from your father, or something like it. And then as you grow school, college, then you see your first fragrance, CK1, Cool Waters, or a few other fragrances, basic fragrance, Daniel Desire Red. So those are our fragrances. So currently, if I talk about those perfumes, the youngsters wouldn't know about them. Daniel Desire Red, Daniel is a house for perfumes. People will be like, aren't they just producing cigarettes? See, this is how trend changes. Okay, whatever was popular or hot back in the days is not any longer even relatable. But I, as an old person, try to keep things relatable. Like, at least I try, because this is my time. I still want to keep it relevant. I don't want to get lost in time. Like, hey, oh man, I'm just like lost in a crowd where I don't know technology, I don't know gadgets. I'm too old. I'm no longer relevant. So yeah, don't want to do that. If you remember the movie Shawshank Redemption, that time there's the old guy, right? He's like, he's set free after 70, 80 years in prison, like 45 years in prison, something I forgot. And he comes out in the world, he cannot relate anymore with the modern world, because that time, so many cars, he hasn't seen those in his time in prison. So now, I try to stay relevant with older fragrances, newer. I try everything. I tried vintage, I tried modern. And for me, I really try to enjoy everything out there, okay? Not everything is obviously for me, but most of the time, I have some older ones, some newer ones. So why do people, coming back to a discussion, why do people always chase new perfumes? This is the topic. This is what I wanted to discuss. And I have an answer, okay? I think, every time, in the market, let's say we have about 1,000 fragrances in the market. Among that, we know 30, 40 really well. If you go to a shopping mall, we always see the same ones. Hugo Boss, common one. Armani's Code, you'll definitely see it in every shopping mall. There are some fragrances, Acqua di Giu, every whole year it's always there, So you know them by your head, like, oh, I know this one, they have this, and the CK one, they have this, CK1 Summers, so I know. But suddenly they release a brand new fragrance, let's say Flanker or brand new, and everybody's attention goes there. Why? Because it's brand new, it's hot fragrance, It doesn't matter, what the sales going to be like or how it's going to really smell, but people will actually have an interest when something new comes out, right? So when, let's say Paco Rabanne, I have a Paco Rabanne Phantom, right there, you cannot see it like in my, if I move it, that's yeah, there you go, Phantom, okay? So when Phantom came out, I'm always interested in brand new ones, like Scandal Purum. I was really interested because these are some fragrances we wait for. So I usually blind buy brand new releases because we have no other way to test it. And because I really enjoy it, I want to take the risk. I want to see what's in the store for me. Most of the time you get, oh, this smells like that, or this one smells like previous one, right? But that excitement is always there. So in the long run, some fragrances do really well. They go like higher and higher and they become top sellers. Like I'll show you one fragrance. When this one came out, Dior Sauvage, I just talked about it today. When this one came out, it got huge hate. Every person bashed this so much and they trashed it. They said, this is a mindless fragrance. Why would Dior release something like it? This is so not Dior. This is so opposite of Dior. But Dior was so smart. They went with the trend and they created a new trend that is called Dior Sauvage. They put Johnny Depp behind this, right? And this fragrance is one of the top selling fragrances in the market currently. So this one is a success story. But some fragrances, no. What could be a good example? I don't have those fragrances that did not do well. But some fragrances, like they were there, but they got forgotten over time. So in the long run, some of the older fragrances actually still are relevant. They're selling strong. They still have their appeal, but some of the newer ones, people were excited, then they forgot about it, because they got bored of it. Let's say a fragrance, okay, ideal example is Versace Eros Flame. When it came out, I have it inside the shelf. Still have a little bit left, but it's not doing as well as Versace Eros, okay? Eros is still selling like hotcake. The EDT, especially, is getting phased out slowly, but the original Eros, EDT, EDP, Perfume, now they are selling, but the Flame one is somewhat okay. Not anybody asks for this in our groups or in shops. Hardly you'll see Versace Eros Flame. So why do people do it? Because people get tired of the same old DNA, same old stuff. And this is kind of like our human nature, We are always welcoming. Let's say we have 3 fast food joints, McDonald's, KFC, we have Johnny Rockets, some of the other ones, and you have like a steak place. But you know all these places, you've been there, right? And you are tired of the same food, okay? Suddenly they open like Carl Jr., even though it's not the best perhaps, but people will like, let's go Carl Jr., okay? Or let's go something like TGI Fridays just to try out something new. Perhaps in the future they will do really well, but perhaps they won't, okay? They will fall like this. But people always chase the new, something exciting, because they keep smelling the old stuff and they get bored. Many people are like this, okay? It's in our nature. We always want to try something new. We want to try something exciting. So when you used to watch movies, we always would look for something different, a horror or something like a romantic comedy. Like when Eurotrip came out, loved that film. American Pie came out, loved that film. It was totally different than what's offered in the market, right? And when you watch the movie called Jeepers Creepers, nowadays people have thousands of movie like that, but that time scared the hell out of us. Trust me. So I'm trying to relate. So my suggestion to you, or my question rather, is I'll keep this open. What do you feel about this? Do you stick to your same old fragrance that, oh no, whatever's coming out, I'm going to stick to my cool waters? That's it. That's my signature scent for life. Or Versace Purum, something like it. Hugo Boss bottle. I don't buy anything else. I don't try any new garbage. I'm happy with what I have. Are you that person? Or you are a person that don't mind trying many new type of perfume. Maybe you don't like rose. Maybe you don't like florals. But as a man, you go out there like, hey, I'll try some cardinal flower. That smells interesting. And then you have a very wide range of collection in your arsenal. Let's say you have 10 fragrances that smell different from each other. 100, they all are different from each other, right? And I think in that way, my personal opinion, just my 2 cents, I would say before I finish is, there was a time I did not like to experiment with perfume because it's your money, man. You are not getting this for free, and you have to make your choices what you're gonna buy. Should you experiment with something new, or you want to take a risk that's gonna be a fail? Maybe you don't want that, right? But with time, I learned better. If you do not take risk, you do not learn. You do not go to places. Okay, it applies every aspect of life. Try a new food. Maybe you don't like duck. Many people don't like the taste of duck. I like Peking duck. Is it Peking duck or Pinky duck? Peking duck, I think, yeah. Absolutely love it. Seafood. Man, nobody loves seafood more than me. Uh, I ate a lot of weird food. Trust me, I like to experiment. And I stick to food that I love. Steak, close to my heart. Chicken, ooh, I don't like chicken that much unless it's KFC, fried chicken, okay? But are you the person? Do you think you should do experience, or you stick to your own same old fragrance? Buy like 10 bottles of Hugo Boss bottles, stay with it, good for life, and you're never going to go out of that supply. Or you want to have like, oh, okay, I am going to come out of my comfort zone and try something new trend. Okay, let's say I am now 41. Fragrances like Scandal Purom or that one right there, Phantom, is not in my age appropriate, but then I make it. I enjoy this game so much that I got into fragrance reviewing, so I can try, always can stay within perfumes, right? So it's about enjoying. Maybe that's why the generation gap, right, between parents and son or the children are so huge, because nobody, the parents don't want to you know go through that barrier, and then engage with their son or children. They don't get to know them that well, and then there's like huge gap happens, and then suddenly one point you'll see the parents are scolding children, hey, you embarrass me, what's wrong with you, like, what are you doing, what's wrong with you, you are doing something that I don't appreciate. If you actually knew, you could communicate better. So it's a lot more than fragrances, right? Today, I would say learning is everything in life. Perhaps if your budget doesn't allow you, sample. Do not have to buy a full bottle. Okay, do not have to buy a full bottle all the time, but you can get the small testers. I buy a lot of samples. I get a lot of samples. I was gifted a lot of samples. I have these like hundreds of them. And the thing is, this is how I feel rich. I don't have full bottle of everything. I have about 1,500 fragrance one time, 2,000 at one time. I've sold off many. So I stick to my fragrance that I love, and I have so many samples. So those fragrances are still fragrances, even in small amounts, so I can still smell them. MFK, I have Frederic Malle. I have huge collection with samples, right? So my ending point is, there's nothing called new or old. Trends change. Let's say jeans, pair of jeans used to wear 70s. Now it's back in fashion. So yes, it's a good thing. You'll obviously chase, by human nature, you'll chase something brand new, but always make sure you give love, or you stay loyal to something that really served you well and you had good memories of. I know few people, and I feel so sad. This is just so sad. They totally deny the fact that Cool Water was a fragrance they used back in the days, and they are like just about niche only. They're only about premium perfumes or something that is just expensive. They never used any designers. They're like, designers suck. Why, man? When you were in school, you used an Axe. Admit it, right? You used something like a body spray or something. Unless you're super rich, I'm pretty sure nobody used Aventus since their birth, right? So I think if you can't appreciate it, do not discourage people, new or old. If a fragrance smells nice, give it love. Do not dismiss a fragrance because now there's so many new ones out there, right? Try whatever, in the market out there. You will probably enjoy the game better. And that's about it. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know if I could make some sense, but just want to talk to you guys. Have a nice day. Good night from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Bye bye.